All right, everybody. Happy Friday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. All right, all right, all right. So, I got some news for all of us. How many of you like news? Like good news, Jana? Well, I got to say this first. So many of you are going to start traveling this week or this weekend or next week, headed to Orlando, Florida. We pray for your travel, okay, and your safety, and make sure you get there. Squeeze. Andrea loves a lot of hugs, so squeeze her hard. And definitely I'm a hugger. Okay. So feel free to come hug me. All right. Let's get a picture together. So we excited to see all of our family in Orlando, Florida. And Mike Guidry. It's Mike Guidry's birthday today. Now, Mike might not be on here, but if you've got Mike's number, send him a happy birthday. It's his birthday. And hopefully we'll find out who else's birthday is on here this morning. But I also want you to mark your calendar. And we've got so November the 9th. Is that right?
That's what you told me.
I almost said Rosser Bosser. November the 9th. Her nickname's Rosser Bosser. Okay. That's not because she's bossy. Well, maybe. All right. So November the 9th, we've got an event coming up, and we're going to have a virtual event for the world. And I have asked one of my really good friends who is kind of comical, a lot of fun, author of many books. He is going to join us, and he's actually going to talk to us on that day. So I'll be sharing that name later on, but just mark your calendar. It'll be like 10 a.m. Central, and it will be a great self-development time, whether you're in our company or you're not in our company. Okay. All right. So the word for today is acceptance. So I need all of you to just accept November the 9th. Okay. Acceptance. So if you look at the definition, it's the action of consenting to receive or undertake something offered. Okay. The action or process of being received as adequate or suitable. And I looked at these definitions. I said, those are just blah. You know, sometimes you read a definition, you're like, I don't like that. I went two directions really quick this morning with acceptance. So one is sometimes the simple solution is really just acceptance. And as easy as that sounds, so many times acceptance is hard. And I want to share with you. So I'm going to talk about business right now, no matter what business you're in. Maybe you're in the medical profession like Jana Culpepper. There's some times in life, in business, especially relationships, other things, but I'm just going to talk about business, that we have to accept things that we might not like. Okay. And here's what I mean by that. Right now in our company, customer service wait times is horrible. Okay. And they are working their fannies off. Like those people are around the clock on the phone. Like imagine taking one call after another all day, all day, all day. So I pray for them. They're working really hard, but it's very inconvenient. But here's what I got to have a choice of accepting. I'm in a new company. We're a little over 1 year old. There's great opportunity. So I can get mad and frustrated and stop working because there's wait times, or I can accept it and go, you know what? I do have the opportunity to be here on the ground floor as this company evolves into something really massive. So I share that with you because it's a pain point. There's a lot of times like there's pain, and it's either I get to choose, do I accept it and I just keep moving, or do I let that pain really deter me from where I'm headed? Does that make sense? Am I just crazy this morning? That really made sense to me. And I'm like, I got to put this in perspective. So I challenge you. My mentor says, choose the mountain you want to die on. And sometimes I would get upset. No, that's not right. Andrew said, you didn't even say that right.
Oh, no,
So,
no. I said none of them. I don't want to die on any mountain.
no,
I wasn't arguing
but
your vote.
I would get really upset sometimes as we were building our first company, and he'd say, "Is this a mountain you're wanting to, like, are you willing to die on this mountain?" And I'm like, "Nah, that's not probably the bigger, like, that's not as big of an issue. Like, I'm not really willing to perish on the mountain for this issue." But it did put it in perspective, right? And so there were some things I could accept because I wasn't willing to perish over that topic or that little one thing happening. Um, but then the other acceptance, and then I got to hurry. But the other acceptance is, how many of you don't take compliments well? You don't embrace them. Andrea's horrible at it. Just so everybody knows, it's a flaw. It's a flaw.
Thanks, Coach.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm having fun. I'm not kidding. But hey, I'm sure there's others that deal with people complimenting you or people going, wow, you look so good. Colleen, amazing. Congratulations. And Colleen's like, oh, okay, stop. And I might deal with some of that myself. Let me say this. When someone pays you a compliment, just accept it, just embrace it, and know that by you showing your appreciation and saying thank you for your words, thanks for sharing, thanks for complimenting me, does so much to the person that has lended you that compliment. But so many times I will push away a compliment, probably make the person feel worse about telling me, you know, because I'm like, oh, no. So if you're that person, accept when something nice comes your way, embrace it, and know that, yes, it does a lot for you, but it's doing a lot for the person that's giving it. Okay. That was my 2 thoughts this morning on acceptance, Lee. Great word, Lee Moss.
Yes, great word this morning. So the quote that I found is acceptance is the key to everything. And that's Michael J. Fox. We all love him. Or we might all, I love him. Hopefully you guys do too. But I was looking into, so I got to tell you, we'll see how much time I have and what I go into. Because I looked at, okay, well, what are the things I should accept? And then that spurred me into, well, what are the things I shouldn't, right? So we're going to talk about what we should. And then if I'm fast enough, maybe we'll get into what we shouldn't. So first of all, ourselves. How many people bully themselves? Like, I can raise my hand. I'm a horrible compliment taker. I know this. And I don't even say nice things to me. I really have a hard time with that. So I'm going to say we've got to learn to accept ourselves, grow, improve, exercise, like do all the things to improve ourselves, but accept yourself the entire time because we're all pretty great. We were designed really well, and we just need to be a little bit nicer about it. Next is things will always change. We just have to realize that, we're driving down the road and we think life is going this direction. And then like reality happens and we're in a little bit of a whirlwind, right? Where we can plan and we can prepare and we can do our best to manage things, but we got to realize that change is going to happen a lot. So we got to accept it. Next, we've got to accept, for better or for worse, we're going to lose people. Right. And I'm not talking about the big loss, but I'm going to say that relationships are going to change. Seasons are going to end. People are going to go maybe to a different company and no longer want to be our friend. Whatever it looks like, we're going to love everyone for whatever season we have them, and then accept that it won't always look like it does today. Next, we've got to accept that we aren't our thoughts. So we've got good thoughts. We've got bad thoughts. They're just thoughts. Like, they're just the fun little things that fly through our head at 87,000 miles per hour. Is that just me? I think that hopefully that's relatable. But if we accept that, well, I thought it, that was a good thought, that was a bad thought, I'm going to accept it, and then I'm going to release it. And that gives us so much more freedom. And then lastly, we've got to accept that we can't control people. Any other slightly controlling humans? Am I the only one that, like, I really wish that I could just line up everything and just kind of control everything. Wouldn't that be so easy? But then I realized, well, first of all, life would be so boring, right? If I always knew what to accept or expect out of everyone, life would be rather dull. But you know what? The only thing that I can truly control is myself. And sometimes even that is a crazy struggle where I'm like, okay, Rosser Bosser, you're supposed to be doing A, B, and C, and you're doing D, E, and F. Like maybe you should course correct, but sometimes we struggle right there. So if we can accept the fact that we can't control other people, we're going to be a lot happier. And then I think I have time. I'm going to run through really quickly, just a couple of things that we shouldn't accept. Okay. So let me see if I can pull it up here. So first of all, constant self-doubt. Let that go. Stop doubting you. So that kind of goes along with the other one. Next is stop accepting the fear of failure. Fearing failure slows us down. It prevents us from striving and doing and being and doing all the things that make us more of who we are. So let that go. And then stop accepting mediocrity. Settling for less, not being kind of goes with the fear of failure, not being brave enough to reach out and strive for your full potential is something that we absolutely have to stop accepting. So that's what I got today, Coach Lee. Thank you so much for this word. It was a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. Great word this morning, guys. Great week. I enjoyed spending time with you this week, and it's the weekend. So we'll see you back next week. Next week's going to be crazy, but that's good. We love crazy because that keeps us
Young.
alive and young. So all right, have a great weekend. Love you guys. Grateful for you. See you back on Monday.
Love you guys.